are you? Hey, just to let you know, Green Lantern Rebirth, a new edition publishing first week of May, and it's packed with additional added material, so it's added value for it as well.
We just did this for you right now.
Yeah, we just And Losers Volume 5, well actually Volumes 3, 4, and 5 are now being combined into one book, shipping very soon, which we also feel is a much better value, okay?
So far it's not coming out until August.
Oh, there's other things to read till then. Next up, Batman. Hey, how do you?
Yeah, I heard what Joe Quesada tried to do to the ring books, and I had a fruit basket for you. But,
You know, I did get a fruit basket, by the way.
Yeah,
I really got a fruit basket, yeah. It was dried fruit, but it was actually pretty good. Of course, I made everybody else sample it first, just like that.
I really love the Secret Origin stuff, like Green Lantern, Secret Origin, Superman, Secret Origin. Are you going to be bringing more of those out? Are you going to be more frequent? Like, are you doing one for like Batman, for Wonder Woman, for like Booster Gold? Like, would they see any of that?
Jared?
Well, I'm doing the Flash Secret Origin. That's going to start in, I think, around fall. Hopefully there are plans for more of those. I really like those books because I can hand Green Lantern Secret Origin to anybody and they can read it and get caught up on those.
Yeah, they're really accessible to anybody. Yeah. That's what makes them good. The stories are really accessible. So
I think if we do more, I know it's going to be, we're not going to just be like, oh, Booster Gold, Secret Origin. Yeah, I think it's going to be a little more judicious in that.
Yeah.
Though I love Booster Gold.
Yeah, one of the funniest things when Jeff was doing, which tells you the whole business really in some ways, when Jeff was doing Superman Secret Origin, somebody in one of the panels actually raised his hand going, didn't you just tell his origin 20 years ago? Why are we revisiting this? And I looked at him like, 20 years ago, we can't do it again? He goes, oh, I can't believe you're going to be changing it. And we aren't really changing it. But I think it's important to contemporize these things and move them up and represent them and repackage them. Because we always want to be out there and accessible to as many new fans as possible. And books like that, I believe, are the first reads for a number of people. So it's a really good thing to have those things going. But that's something that's a franchise that Jeff is building out, and we're going to continue to build it out in that fashion.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Nick.
I just had two. Sorry. I just had two questions. I was wondering what you guys were planning on doing on delayed comics. Because, I mean, there's the obvious things of other books, but like... I'm sorry, I'll avoid looking at your link. But, no, I was actually... sorry. Flash Rebirth, that it's both of you right there, so this is awkward. I found that Flash Rebirth was like a really bad example of delays because like there was also Legion of Three World was delayed, and then if you hadn't read it, you found out about Bart, and then all that led into
Totally. You know what? I totally agree with you. I trust me. It hurts me as much as it hurts you because it hurts the story. You know, I think stories can just get hurt by a story being late or things ship out of order. Blackest Night was an example of I think how we hope to proceed from this point out.
Yeah, let me say two things also on that, because in defense of everybody here, honestly. Last year we heard a lot of problems about delays, and we went into extraordinary levels to correct those situations, and we really did. And at the end of the year, we delivered close to 95% on-time delivery. Now, granted, you mentioned a couple of books, which are the ones you really want, so those slipped away. But in those cases, you know, we argue hard about those choices, because in my mind, something as important as a Flash Rebirth, we need to make sure it's done because it's going to be sitting on the shelf. You know, the guy that just talked about Green Lantern Rebirth, want to make sure it's a book sitting there? We have to make sure that Flash Rebirth is a book that's going to be sitting there for a long time, and we want to make sure if it means a little bit later, or a lot later, in regards to the periodicals, it didn't affect all the other series, but it means an important book for us that we want it to be as good as possible because we know it's going to be up there for a long time. So we go back and forth.
Started. It's very, very possible, very likely, in fact, that we'll actually be able to take some of the stuff that's happening in the comics and kind of mirror it in the online gaming space and vice versa. So those plans are in the works. It's just you got to get the game out there first.
Cool. Thanks, guys. You got it. Next up.
Hey there. I want to ask about the price of comics because I think like last year they went to $3.99. You guys added the backups, which Marvel didn't do. They were charging $3.99 for 32-page comics. I think in general, like you guys are releasing a lot of great comics. A lot of them because it's $3.99, I'll say, well, do I really want that for a Ravager backup? Do I really want,
Yeah.
some Titans?
Right.
I was curious, are you guys gonna try, I mean, you guys do really well right now. Are they gonna hold the line and try not to do, want to raise all prices to $3.99 like Marvel's been doing? Because I think that's kind of got a little out of control with 13-page comics.
Let's turn this back to you guys for a second. For the audience, how many people notice the price between $3.99 and $2.99? Okay. How many people make decisions about buying comics because of the price? Okay. How many people bought Blackest Night? How many people bought Siege? Oh.
Be honest.
Yeah, come on, put them up.
Alright, get the hell out of here.
Okay. The weird part about it is what we're finding out right now is two things. First one is that if people really want the story, they're going to pay the extra money for it. If they really want it, but it's got to be good. And the other thing we find out is that if they're on the fence, the price will break the book. Pretty much, right? Does that sound right? Yeah. Okay. The last thing we want to do is break the business. Okay. We are meeting with a lot of challenges on costs and things like that we're fighting with. But the goal is to try to hold the price, but if not, try to give you as much value for the book as possible. You want to add that, Jim?
No, I mean, Blackest Night, $3.99, 40 awesome pages, fold outs. I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So I think the trick is to give you your money's worth at that price point.
Yeah.
I guess like Blackest Night was worth it, and those books are worth it, but also you have a book which is going to sell automatically. You know that you're going to sell enough copies, you could generally lower the price too. The books
Yeah, but honestly, though, nobody says, hey, we're going to sell 1 billion copies of Blackest Night, so let's charge $8 for it.
Yeah.
That's not what anyone does at DC, and especially because, you can see there are events that don't sell right now. There are events that aren't hitting the numbers, and some of that is quality or price or whatever. It's got to be, I mean, Ivan Reed's just, kicked the hell out of that book, and he delivered every page, and the book's longer than normal, and it's got a lot of stuff in it, but it's, I don't think anybody said, hey, let's price it at $3.99 just because it's a guaranteed sale.
Okay, thanks guys.
You're welcome, thank you. But also, just want to say one thing, it's something that we're always thinking about. We don't take the pricing for granted, and we don't think we can just raise everything and expect everybody to come along, okay? Next up.
Hi, Ralph and Sue Gibney. Anything?
What is the is he? What?
Has anybody not read Blackest Night?
8.
Anybody not read 8?
It's up to you.
I got it. Spoiler.
Don't.
Spoiler alert!
Okay, the good part is that we had an over and under on the Ralph and Sue question, and the over won, okay?
Also, Wednesday Comics 2. The first one was great.
Well, Wednesday, we're looking at that right now. We've got the trade, the collection of Wednesday Comics coming out in May, I believe. I've got a sample of it, and let me tell you, it is one of the most spectacular looking collections that we put out to date. It is absolutely beautiful. The better paper, the way it's presented really brings all those artists to life on the pages, and couldn't be more proud of that. And how that works is really going to see whether or not we proceed with the second Wednesday Comics or not.
Are there any characters and stories in mind for if you do a second one?
None of that at all, because it's really built around the talent. It's built around, we ask them what they want to do. Okay?
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm really glad that you guys are starting to do DC entertainment, because it's like Jeff said, everyone likes seeing Batman and Superman movies, but I mean, when you read the comic books of other heroes, you're kind of wondering, man, this would be awesome if this was a movie, or like, man, this part right here would be awesome to see in the theaters. So, and I personally, I think it kind of sucks